Hi all. The plan is to restore it as a piece of Australian compressor history and display it with the new compressors on our showroom floor. This is the story. This is the compressor and this is its first test. Let's plug it in, turn it on. Excellent. It runs great and sounds great. Let's move it to my shed and we'll see what can be saved and what we have to replace. Okay, given it a quick inspection, most of the work is going to be in stripping the components to remove the rust, built up dirt and grime and corrosion. So far there only seems to be one component we have to replace, and that's the plastic lens on our pressure gauge. We will disassemble the gauge and get one manufactured. The first job we're going to do is set up our pressure washer and pressure wash the compressor to remove all the built up grease, grime and dirt. I'm going to seal up the electric motor as much as possible to try and keep any water out.
Discovered a little bit of original green paint, greeny silver paint.
Right, we'll try and pull it all apart now. Knock it down to some components. So from there we'll clean all the individual components and get them ready to paint. Got a couple little holes in here which I've fixed, but we seem to have some other hole issue, so I've got it up to a test tank. I'm just going to put some air into it and we'll test it, but I think there's a hole in here somewhere. Put soapy water and see what it looks like. Oh yeah. Down the edge there, all the way around. So it's leaking all the way around there and it's been brazed on. So I'm going to have to try and braze that again. So after the first coat, it's looking pretty good. I don't even know if I'll have to do a second coat, but probably will just to make sure I haven't missed anything. Right, we've gathered all our components together, cleaned them all, water blasted, and repainted all the components that need repainting. Anything that we could tidy up, replaced the lens in the front of the pressure gauge, painted the filter, housing, etc., cleaned the filter, cleaned all the switches up, polished the alloy, painted all the tanks, etc., repaired all the holes which we had. Luckily we were able to recover those. That was a bit of an issue. All the top of the pump was all tidy. All the parts on the seal which says SuperSpray, etc. Now I'm just going to assemble it and we'll try and take some video of it once it's finished. I put on the switch unit, which is the on-off switch, and the reset button. I put some thread tape on fittings that have got to go into there. Next thing we're going to do is put the motor onto the frame, hook the pump up and run the rest of the fittings. Got it all back together, we'll just give it a test and make sure she's going. Oh yeah, pressure's going up. Safety valve leaking. Another little job, I have to fix the safety valve. Other than that, she's all back together, all ready to go. I'll do a few more video, a bit of a video later on of it completed and some close up and pretty shots. So our old McMillan compressor's all finished and cleaned up and tidied up, running very well. We don't know what year it is. She's definitely an oldie. She's heavy as lead, but it's going to be a pride of place on display here in our showroom at Coleshill Centre.